Views were expressed on Australian businessman James Packer at two separate media briefings held today.
A parliamentarian in Sri Lanka is stating without any basis that James Packer, who is operating an illegal casino business, should be arrested in Sri Lanka. This message was reported in all international media.
Before levelling allegations at opposition parliamentarians, shouldn't inquiries be made responsibly from the police media spokesperson or the Inspector General of Police on whether opposition parliamentarians have called for James Packer to be arrested?
A media briefing on the country's image and the image of the government was held at the Jatika Sevaka Sangame headquarters, and a Channel 4 journalist was welcomed. People held demonstrations when this Channel 4 journalist arrived in Sri Lanka. But did the opposition do so? When a person who destroyed the image of the country was to arrive in the island, did the opposition at least ask the government why this person was coming? To which police station did they go and lodge a complaint to stop a journalist who destroyed the image of the country from arriving in Sri Lanka?
Our receipt is CIBI 3923. The complaint lodged by MPs Yuan, Ajit and myself has been recorded in the police book. I state with responsibility that we said no such thing. We are not struggling to have James Packer arrested. We have received reports that there is a conspiracy to violate the law of the country, and that is support of this. We have asked that this be looked into and action taken accordingly.
Complaints are usually lodged asking that those who engage in illegal activities be arrested. But it is not mentioned specifically in the complaint. A person who makes a complaint cannot state how the law should be enforced. If something illegal was done, then one subtly asks for an arrest to be made. He has asked this, and now that he is being reprimanded by the public, he has convened a media briefing today to say that he made no such statement.
On Business News tonight, those in the education sector point out that the financial allocations for the education sector through the 2014 appropriation bill is insufficient.
Well, yes, they point out that if the government intends to make Sri Lanka a knowledge hub, financial allocations for the education sector needs to be increased significantly.
According to the appropriations bill presented to the Parliament, 74 billion rupees has been allocated for the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Higher Education and Ministry of Education Services. The annual allocations for the education sector amounts to 2% of the gross domestic product.
Everyone expected that 6% will be allocated for the education sector from the gross domestic product. Last year, only 1.88% was allocated. 306 billion was to be allocated. That is 4.1% for education, taking into account tuition fees and private fees. It is clear that the government has adopted the policy of commercializing the education sector. The government expects to earn foreign exchange through this. However, this contravenes the basic principles pertaining to universities and education in Sri Lanka.
Even
if a student obtains 3 A's, that student will be denied university entrance. If the government intends to improve the university system in the country, then new universities need to be established to enroll at least 10,000 more students.
On to other local news, 3 women were killed and 2 others injured after a 3-wheeler fell off a 500-foot precipice in Alla. The police said that the victims were tea plantation workers and noted that 5 people had been travelling in the 3-wheeler at the time of the accident. The bodies are currently lying at the Demodara hospital. The deceased were residents of the Halpe area in Bandaravela. On to sports cricket news, Sri Lanka captain Angela Matthews says that the team has learnt how to play with a Dewey ball and how to make changes to the team in the event of a wet pitch.
Also, New Zealand claimed a 4-wicket victory over Sri Lanka in the second one-day international worked off at Hambantota yesterday. According to the Duckworth-Lewis method, the first ODI victory on Sri Lankan soil in a decade.
There it is, movement and Garnacy!
The Sri Lankans, who won the toss and elected to bat first, posted 138 runs in 23 overs, with the number of overs being cut down as rain interrupted play. Play was halted due to rain when Sri Lankans were on 117 runs after 20.4 overs. Chasing a target of 198 runs in 23 overs, the New Zealanders surpassed the target, losing 6 wickets.
Got him.
Opener TM Dilshan and Kumar Sangakkara posted 55 and 71 runs respectively for Sri Lanka. New Zealand batsman Tom Latham scored 86 runs. Luke Ronchi and Lathan McCallum chipped in with 49 and 32 runs respectively.
Down the track, drives on the onside.
They had to score 20 runs off the final over. We expected Wangan Haywath would do something better. Unfortunately, that did not happen. This is a good lesson for us, especially how to use the ball when the conditions are damp.
And that's today's edition of Primetime News. As always, it is a pleasure having you with us. For the News First team, I'm Shahan Jurangpati.
And I'm Minoshi Ratnasekara. We leave you tonight with a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. Good night.
First at 9.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.